If you're someone in your 50s or 60s and you're approaching the runway of retirement, I've got 3 things that you need to simply start doing to become better and stronger as an adult. But I've also got 3 tips to share that I refer to as being a kid again. These 6 tips, 3 in becoming a stronger adult and 3 in letting it fly and becoming a kid again. They'll all help you retire stronger. In this episode, I'm gonna help you identify all 6 of them and how to apply them to your life starting today. We've all run across people like my friend Bob. Bob's now retired from the restaurant industry, but this was a guy who at one point you'd see all dressed up in his business suit giving a presentation or leading a board meeting. Sophisticated, well-spoken, and polished. He was a leader's leader. He could energize a room, motivate people, and inspire them. And then all of a sudden, you'd turn around and you'd see him sitting on the floor, cross-legged, sitting there dipping ice cream out of a tub while he told stories to little kids. But he didn't just look at them as little kids. In many ways, he was looking through his own eyes as one of them. He liked ice cream and he liked stories too. And if you happen to walk by during one of these ice cream moments or whatever it was, whether you're 50 and dressed in a business suit or just a kid, it didn't matter to Bob. His words would be, "Hey Rich, pull up a seat. And by the way, here's a spoon." So here are 3 tips that I feel we all need to tighten up on as adults, and 3 tips that we can incorporate simultaneously into our lives that will help us and encourage us in ways to become a kid again. Tip number 1 of becoming a stronger adult is to watch who we hang around. Negativity can be a heavy anchor in our lives. We all know the impact of the friend or colleague who drains the positive right out of us. There are so many sayings and books on this, but the moral of the story is this. If you want to see the type of person you're going to be 5 years from now, just look at the quality of the people that you spend the most time with. You got to be able to ask yourself, are these people making me stronger or better? Are they inspiring me and motivating me? Are they open to allowing you to bring these same qualities into their lives? If the answer is no, you gotta start replacing these relationships. Tip number 2 of becoming a stronger adult is to embrace change. Change is often met with resistance. There's 2 attributes in any person's life that will prevent them from plowing through this resistance. The truth is, we all have a little of both of these attributes from time to time, and they're fear and laziness. Laziness doesn't just mean we're going to sit on the couch and eat potato chips all day and do nothing. The laziness I'm referring to means we don't know enough about the situation or believe in it enough just yet. There's not enough there to get us so excited that we override the laziness. The minute we become so passionate about something is the minute laziness begins to be replaced with passion and motivation. But even if laziness gets overcome, there can be one other factor that gets in the way. I'm referring to fear. Sometimes, if fear of failure is too powerful, then it doesn't matter how excited we are about something. We still may not follow through with it. Don't worry, I have a tip for this one. It's tip number 2 coming up in the next section on being a kid again. And tip number 3 of becoming a stronger adult at this phase in our lives is to prioritize our health. You see, health is the cornerstone of a fulfilling life. Neglect it and the repercussions are profound. Let's stop that neglect. Instead, introduce small, manageable health habits into your daily routine. This is one area where we can't mix up being an adult and being a child. Today, when I woke up, I wanted to have Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. It was right there in the pantry. I ate lower sugar oatmeal. Small steps pave the way for long-term benefits, ensuring a healthier, more protected version of you. I want to eat oatmeal today and prioritize my health so that in the future, I can occasionally sit on the floor like Bob did around a tub of ice cream and enjoy it with my grandkids. Okay, so those 3 tips were important, but far less fun than the ones we're going to talk about, which encourages you and shows you the benefits of being a kid again. Remember, all of these tips, the top 3 and the next 3, all need to be incorporated into your life. Being a kid again, tip number 1 is take risks. For many of us as kids, we were far less afraid to take risks compared to how we are as adults. As a boy, we did so many things simply because it looked fun and exciting. I remember my grandmother had a pool with a screen enclosure over it. But one summer, a panel of that screen enclosure fell out of it, and it took a few weeks before they got it repaired. So what did me and my buddies do? We set up a ladder next to the house so we could climb up, get on the roof of the house, and jump through that section of the screen enclosure that was missing the screen into the pool. You see, we didn't overthink it. In a similar way, I want to encourage you to take some risks in your 50s and 60s. Now, I'm not suggesting you go jump off of a roof into a hole in a screen enclosure down into the swimming pool, but take some extra risks that you normally wouldn't take. What's the difference of childhood versus our pre-retirement years? Simply add in the word calculated. We need to take more risks, but of course, to be smart about it, you just need to be calculated. You've made it this far into your 50s and 60s, and maybe you've had some close calls in life, but you made it. If you look back, you realize many of the things that brought the greatest reward involved taking some level of risk. Need some ideas coming up with what risks might make your life more rewarding? Then let's jump into number 2. Number 2 is to dream big. Have you ever noticed that kids have a far superior gift of being able to dream big compared to adults? Most of them anyway. Remember when you were a kid how you could lay in bed and just come up with some of the craziest dreams, where you wanted to go in life or what you wanted life to look like at some point in the future. But sadly, for many who approach adulthood, the dreams begin to get replaced with what the world refers to as reality. You can't do this. You can't do that. It costs too much money and it takes too much time. Or you're not smart enough and you're not good enough. Take some time to give yourself permission to just dream and dream big. In this phase of our life, travel, for example, is an easy area to dream big. I dream on a regular basis what it's going to be like to travel in an RV with my wife across the country. We're going to be trying IPA beers at different restaurants and snapping pictures of the great things we've seen along the way to send to my grandkids that I don't even have yet. But for you, maybe it's the business you want to start or the nonprofit organization that you're looking to launch. Give yourself permission to be a kid and dream big, and don't adult it up too much, pounding yourself with all the reasons why it may not work or it'll be too hard or too expensive. No, dream big. Tip number 3 of being a kid again is embrace technology. Now, we all know the best way to get our TV programmed or our Roku, you know what a Roku is, right? Our Roku setup is to ask someone under 25 years old. It's funny that no matter what it is or what part of our life it impacts, if it's technology related, the kids or young adults in our lives, they know how to do it. I want to encourage you to stay on top of apps and cell phones and computer technology as much as you can. It's okay to turn to someone for help, but let them show you how to do it instead of just setting it up for you. YouTube is a great resource to learn almost anything. Want to learn how to make your computer do this or your cell phone do that? Simply type in that request into the YouTube search bar and spend a little time watching the videos. You'll be surprised what you'll learn. I hope you'll make some time in your life to incorporate these 6 tips. I really do think they'll help us be stronger tomorrow than we are today and give us the opportunity to retire stronger. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, may God bless you.